Hi, and welcome to Whitefish Chess Academy. We're here with yet another video that is featuring a nice tactical ending with a game that was played in the Speed Chess Championship of 2024 on chess.com. And that was a game between Grandmaster Magnus Carlsen, who is also a multiple world champion, and against Grandmaster Le Tuan. And this was round 11, and it's just a very beautiful display of how Carlsen plays his strategic chess and at a critical point where he just takes over with a very amazing tactics. Now, this is the game that was played round 11. Magnus started with the white pieces, Grandmaster Minh Le Tuan with a speed chess player on chess.com with over 3,200 rating, but it was just ripped apart so easily. So that's how the game went. It was d4, typical fashion of Magnus Carlsen, d5, 3, 6, bishop f4, c5. And then, of course, the fight for the center begins at this moment. So e3 is played, queen b6. Now, this is a very, very tactical move, and we just need to be really careful about it. Now, the big move on board is at c4, and you might be wondering what's with click on B7. And if you just, I mean, it looks very risky, yeah. But let's just move it here, please, because you're underdeveloped and you don't want to rush into those things. I mean, now to just go to bishop to D2, and then all of a sudden your queen's a bit misplaced and you're having a lot of pressure on your queen side because you're underdeveloped. So E6 is a logical move. Now that's E3, another funny move. Now just imagine what happens if queen takes, knight goes to B5, knight go to E3. Of course, you have to be very careful. You cannot play the knight fork on C7 because there's a checkmate with queen times F2. So bishop E2 is logical, and then knight F3 just to knight C3 just to come and liquidate and remove all the pieces from the board. Of course, you still can't go with knight F7 because there is the idea of knight X queen or knight takes B7, and then you really do not have a lot of compensation for what you're playing. So it's a very risky setup. So it captures, and knight d2. And again, it looks funny. White is already down a pawn, and it's set to lose an element c4. So let's just take a look at what happened. So here, here we had, I mean, this is what would happen. So knight d2, pawn captures, not just to say that pawn captures now, rook c1. So white is effectively 2 pawns down, but rook c1, just like, I don't care. I am just going to improve my pieces, and of course, it's a very that's a dangerous threat because when the queen moves away, maybe to queen A5 or the queen B4, then I mean C times D5, and then the queen, I mean the bishop on C8 is hung. So there's compensation for white. So here, logical moves queen f4, big times, knight a3, and then castles. Again, it looks complicated, but if you look at the setup, if for example you take with the pawn, I mean, there's so much that is happening. Knight b3, sacrificing more material, pawn on a2, but then the whole center is crushed. White is called up in the center, and for those 2 pawns, you can see that the coordination of white or black's pieces is really so bad, and it's just a matter of time. The valuation here is so high, it's almost plus 2.5, and it's really difficult for black to find any way to salvage something from this position. But anyway, the game went queen, instead of queen takes, it was pawn times pawn times d4, queen takes, and again, this pawn is hanging right there on b1. Of course, this time you take b2, then you get into rook b1. The rook is getting very active, and all white pieces are really getting to the game. When black is just on the defensive. So logical sense was from Min Tuan, and they played bishop c5, developing the bishop and preparing to castle. One move, so queen d7, bishop c5. A logical move, queen c2, just trying to avoid the double threat with knight c2, though it can still happen here, but just a little bit different. So castle, bishop e2, takes the pawn, Magnus just castles and leaves the pawn and twice. And again, it's very interesting to see that white is actually playing uh, dynamically and is looking for um, to gain multiple temples at the expense of black, trying to hold on to his pawn on c4. So here, black captured, white captures. Contact c4, creating a double pawn. This move is just a bit natural. The rooks either A or B going, either the rook on A or the rook on F1, going to the position B1 and just dominating everything with the queens. You're still down the pawn, but I mean, you have all the compensation that you need. And actually here in the position, the evaluation of the computer says that white is actually slightly better, about 0.3. And that means actually white is actually very okay, even with the pawn being down. And like that, black is having trouble, especially with bishop on c8, which is really struggling, and the rook on a8, which really has a long way to get into the game. Meanwhile, white's pieces are all fantastically positioned. So the game went on knight c6, logical move, rook f d1, queen a5, just giving up the pawn. But I think better was actually to play queen to b5, protecting the pawn a little longer. Well, you might not hold on to it forever, but if you look at the variation in that, it will be queen b5, rook, bishop d6, rook goes up, bishop comes back, captures, 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 and you just force it, exchanges, and it could lead to some very dangerous positions like this, for example. And of course, if you play the pawn to f5, then you're running to knight g6, and the position just crashing. So you really need to be very careful. And here, black plays queen takes, a lot of exchanges happening, and the position is still a little equal. Maybe black has just keep up on just sort of damage the structure of white. But white is just slightly better. The game should pencil into a draw. And yeah, possibly the chances that black should have tried. But what happened in the game was really unique, and you just need to see it. So it was after queen went to a5, then bishop takes on c4, then d5. Another critical moment here. Bishop g5. Now, uh, we need to be careful because already his structure is going to be damaged on f6. And when you're trying to press on, now if you can pause for a moment, this is the tactical shot that happened. Again, these bishops of white are really, really so dangerous in this position. And you're going to see, like in the previous video that we did, you'll see again, white bishops can really be very, very dangerous if you take up the sound. So what happened is bishop takes, pawn takes, and that's a terrible blunder because of rook d5. Now, if you look at d5, might not look like anything very serious has happened, but once you move the queen, for example, to b6, like what happened in the game, then rook to g5, and all of a sudden, there seems to be some form of checkmate on the board. Because when you play g6, then rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes. So actually, Grandmaster Minh Tuan, of course, being a very strong grandmaster, resigned at this moment, and the game was actually over. So it was a fantastic display showing the form that Grandmaster Magnus Carlsen is in, and he went on to win this match in dominating fashion. There are more videos coming from some of the games that he played. I hope you will enjoy it. If you enjoyed the video, please do not hesitate to subscribe. And as we prepare for you more content on this channel, have a good day. Bye bye.